Hello, you're here for today's edition of QPVN Election News Bulletin. You're with Melinchi, and here come the headlines. Ceremony to welcome President Reup for state visit to Cambodia. Foreign Geneva agreement to Vietnamese bamboo diplomacy. Phú Quốc ranks second among world 25 best islands. As invitation of King of Cambodia Prabat Samdet Priya Muhammad Norodom Sihamoni, President Reup paid a state visit to Cambodia from July the 12th to the 13th. On the afternoon of July the 12th, the official welcoming ceremony for President Reup was solemnly held at the Royal Palace in Phnom Penh under the chairmanship of King Norodom Sihamoni. In front of the Royal Palace, thousands of youth, students, and citizens of Phnom Penh held portraits of King Norodom Sihamoni and President Reup, waving flags and flowers to welcome the President and the high-ranking Vietnamese delegation. The state visit to Cambodia, as part of President Reup's first official foreign trip in his new position, has great significance. It further strengthens political trust and promotes effective cooperation in all areas, thereby affirming Vietnam's consistent policy of valuing and wishing to deepen its relations with Cambodia, as well as enhancing the trust and bonds between the senior leaders of both countries. After the welcoming ceremony, President Reup met with King Norodom Sihamoni at the throne hall of the Royal Palace. On July the 12th, chairing the Political Military Conference of the General Staff for the first 6 months of 2024, Senior Lieutenant General Nguyễn Tân Cương, Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army, Deputy Defense Minister, asked the General Staff to continue to focus on comprehensively completing the goals and tasks set for the year, build an exemplary and typical unit in observance of regularity, law, and discipline. In the first 6 months of 2024, the General Staff directed agencies and units in the home military to successfully complete regular and unexpected tasks, to maintain combat readiness, fully grasp the situation, promptly advise the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense on appropriate policies and effective handling of arising situations, seriously and closely adjust the force organization to meet the requirements of a streamlined and strong military. Senior Lieutenant General Nguyễn Tân Cương requested the General Staff in the last 6 months to improve its advisory, research, forecasting, and assessment capacities, focus on flexible and effective handling of issues related to sea, islands, borders, and key areas. It will also submit to the government and the National Assembly bills on military and national defense. The agencies will strictly maintain combat readiness, continue to research the art of combat, and properly organize specialized forces at different levels while directing safe and qualified exercises. On the afternoon of July the 12th, the Ministry of National Defense held a conference to review the military science and technology in the first half of 2024 under the chair of Deputy Defense Minister, Senior Lieutenant General Lê Huy Vịnh. The military science and technology work has been by far implemented comprehensively and rigorously, meeting the set requirements in close line with the training and combat readiness activities of agencies and units. Scientific and military information operations have closely followed political tasks while product quality is higher, while serving the military defense activities. General Vịnh urged the Military Science Department to continue reviewing and accelerating the progress of military science and technology programs and projects with high quality. 70 years ago, on July the 21st, 1954, the Geneva Agreement was signed. After the signing of the Geneva Accords, French colonialists were forced to end the war and complete their withdrawal from the three Indochina countries, and peace was restored in Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. The Geneva Agreement is regarded as a great diplomatic victory that leaves behind many profound lessons for Vietnamese diplomacy. Today, the significance of the agreement still remains valuable, as it demonstrated Vietnam's tradition of peace, harmony, friendship, and humanity, and President Ho Chi Minh diplomatic thoughts with this peace must be associated with the independence, sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity of the fatherland. 70 years have passed since the Geneva Agreement was signed. Vietnam is developing dynamically, has accelerated international integration in a deep and comprehensive manner, and holds a high position and reputation in the international arena. The lessons from the process of negotiating, signing, and implementing the Geneva Agreement are still valid today, especially for the task of building a comprehensive and modern diplomacy imbued with the identity of Vietnamese bamboo. Vietnamese diplomacy is soft and wise, but still persistent and resolute, flexible and creative, but consistent, valiant and resilient against all challenges and difficulties facing national independence and people's happiness, and united and humanitarian, but resolute and persistent in safeguarding the national interest. The diplomacy imbued with the identity of Vietnamese bamboo has such an internal manifestation and is recognized inside and outside the country. Vietnamese bamboo is very special with stem gold and fragile leaves, but forms rampants. During nearly 4 years of national innovation, Vietnam steadily pursues its consistent foreign policy of independence, self-resilience, multilateralization, diversification, and active engagement in intensive and extensive international integration, and being a friend, a trusted partner, and an active, responsible member of the international community. It is needed to fully grasp and flexibly and creatively apply the thought, story, and art of the diplomacy of Ho Chi Minh era, which is unique and imbued with the identity of Vietnamese bamboo strong roots, solid stems, and flexible branches to maintain peace and stability, create a favorable environment for the country to develop in a quick and sustainable way, gloriously standing on an equal footing with major powers in the 5 continents as Uncle wished. Applying the thoughts of Vietnamese bamboo diplomacy and staying steadfast in strategic principles and flexible in strategies and tactics, defense diplomacy has well-molded its advisory role to the party and state on effectively solving strategic issues related to national defense, security, territorial borders of the fatherland, while handling defense relations with other countries. It is essential to promote the unique characteristics of defense diplomacy to contribute to consolidating and developing Vietnam's relations with countries and international organizations, take full advantage of external resources to build, consolidate, and enhance defense potential, overcome war consequences, strengthen cooperation with neighboring countries, and enhance position, role, and prestige of the country in the military. 70 years have passed since the Geneva Agreement was signed. The lessons from the negotiation, signing, and implementation of the Geneva Agreement are still valuable today, and the foreign policy and Vietnamese bamboo diplomacy have been and are being applied in a creative way. The agreement has brilliantly demonstrated the diplomatic spirit, courage, and identity of Vietnam in the Ho Chi Minh era, strongly affirming the message of a Vietnam that loves peace, values justice and righteousness, possesses the will to fully defend independence, sovereignty, and territorial integrity, and stands ready to cooperate and be friends with all countries and peoples in the world. Coming up next, Phu Quoc ranks the second among world's 25 best islands. Cultural interference fosters creativity. Recently, the U.S. magazine Travel and Leisure announced a list of the 25 most beautiful islands and archipelagos in the world in 2024. Phu Quoc is the only representative of Vietnam on the list and ranks the second with a total score of 94.41 out of 100. Commenting on Phu Quoc, the U.S. magazine wrote, "The island located off the west coast of Vietnam has its greatest strength as an emerging tourist destination in the world. While some beaches in Southeast Asia are developing, Phu Quoc still maintains its peacefulness. Phu Quoc still retains its quietness and simplicity. But that doesn't mean you can't stay in luxury rooms. One of them is Regent Phu Quoc, which has a rooftop infinity pool, a new World Phu Quoc in the top 4 best resorts in Southeast Asia and top 100 in the world 2024, also voted by Travel and Leisure. Ranked the first on this list is Maldives with 95.63 points. The 25 most beautiful islands in the world are a category within the annual World's Best Award. The award aims to find excellent services in the field of tourism and is a guide for tourists to places with good services. More than 700,000 readers, including international tourists and experts, participated in the voting." Thanks to its special geographical position, Vietnam has good friendship with neighboring countries and countries in the region and around the world, thereby providing the opportunities to receive influence from many different cultures, but still retains its own cultural features. This proves that Vietnamese culture is rich in identity, has strong vitality throughout historical periods, and is a culture of absorbing and creating other cultural values, while still preserving its own unique cultural values. So what opportunities and challenges does the current process of globalization and international integration bring to Vietnam's development, including the cultural field? We had a talk with Associate Professor Dr. Lê Thanh Bình, former Dean of the Faculty of International Communications and Foreign Culture, Diplomatic Academy of Vietnam, to better understand this issue.
Kính thưa quý khán giả và các đồng chí, trên tay tôi đang là 2 chiếc bánh mì.
There are 2 loaves of bread in my hands. Their shape and color are very similar to the baguettes we often eat. Their smell is very fragrant. Their crust is crispy. But there are special things about this bread. And to find out what's special about it, today let's bring these loaves of bread to meet Chef Jeff Newley, a man from France, the homeland of bread.
Hello, Chef Newley. Thank you very much for taking and joining this program with the QPVN audiences. And today I bring this baguette to you. It looks like normal baguette, and I want you to taste it and tell the audiences how you feel about it. You ready?
Okay.
Yeah. Here you are.
Thank you very much.
It's nice, but it's no gluten. It's not flour. It's no gluten. It's no gluten. That is gluten-free. It's nice for people have allergy.
It's gluten-free.
Yes.
Yes, the ingredients doesn't include flour.
You need to know.
I'm curious as well. That's why today I invite the owner of the bakery that makes this baguette to join us and let she tell us how to make this baguette. Chef Nu? So, as we were discussing about the rice baguette, I invite Miss Nhung here today. She is the founder of the rice baguette, the owner of the Gạo Story Bakery. So, can you introduce more about the rice baguette to Chef Newley?
Yeah. Hi, nice to meet you. I dream one day I can create the baguette from rice from Vietnam. So I try to work with this about 4 years already. So today I will introduce to you the way to make a rice baguette from rice.
Huh?
This is the rice I use to make my bread.
Okay.
So we will clean that.
Okay.
Yeah. Normally I will keep it in the water about only 3 hours. After we keep the rice in the water.
Okay.
We can put the water and the rice into the blender. And the ratio of rice and water normally will be 1:1.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's nice and smooth. You can add into it the salt, of course, salt, sugar, and a little bit of oil. Yeah. You mix it until nice and smooth, and you can see no oil on the surface. Yeah.
Allez.
And after that, we can pour it into the mold, and you let it ferment it.
Ouais, you have the fermented. That is nice.
Yeah, here we have the fresh baked rice bread. Yeah, you can try it.
Yeah, of course. Okay, ma'am, for you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really crunchy outside. It smells good as well.
Can you hear that? And it's so soft inside.
Wonderful job.
Any creativity starts from absorbing what is already there. transforming and promoting it to create something new. And rice bread is proof of the above statement. Cultural interference is like a boat that would never dock. From the stories of rice bread, we get a broader view. That is, if we know how to take advantage of globalization and know how to change it in our own way, Vietnamese people will create a brand with their own mark.
It is the end of the Listening News Bulletin today. You can watch the news again at QPVN.vn. For the goodbye and see you next time.